Here's a weird one. I'm doing a job at the Holiday Inn, and this is at the Birmingham airport. Worked here quite a few times, but I've never actually bothered to look around and see where there is to walk whilst you're here, because there's usually quite a lot of breaks and I've got an hour and a half to kill. So what I've done is I've come out of that green little tube over the car park, over this pedestrian footbridge which goes over the A45, which then drops you here. So you come down there, down here, and then we got a public bridle way, which is pretty cool. But it looks like there's a bit of a weird house here on the left, and looks like someone lives there. Their garage has collapsed. There's a nice old T3, T25 Volkswagen, and a Citroen C3 or C2 that's seen better days as well. But how bizarre is that? Just on the side of the A45. Cool, then they've got a lovely garden which you can see from the bridge, so it's cool. But I thought it was definitely worth a little wander around, because this is just, it has to be a place that you're just not going to walk to if you don't happen to be at that venue, or maybe you work at the airport. I don't know how close it is to the airport itself. It's a couple of miles away, isn't it, still? But yeah, a nice opportunity to see what we've been missing. What's this for? Heritage Walk 7, the lodge. Okay, so that lodge over there, this was the main entrance to the hall from Coventry Road. It was built between 1851 and 1861. The outer stone structure conceals a brick interior. After the sale of the estate in 1920, it was let to a tenant not connected with the estate and resold in 1956. Eagle finials topped the gate piers, and it was rumoured that they were acquired by the RAF, who were stationed at Elmdon during World War II, and now adorn an airfield in Oxfordshire. I had no idea this was here. Okay, so we're in Elmdon Park. Apparently it used to be home of a hall / manor. What the hell? Has anyone been here? Get in the comments if you've been here before. We've got the Hatchford Brook running through here. There's a children's play area, amazing. Oh, there are two car parks, so I guess there's like a bit more of a normal entrance than the A45 to get here, but let's have a quick walk around it. I've got to get back in there. Well, back to the Holiday Inn within the hour, so I'm going to speed through this. But how lovely. So yeah, we've got a bit of a tree planting project going on here. This is still Elmdon Park. I think that's the term for the whole place. Lots of dog walking going on around here. It's good to see. This is a lot of land, isn't it? Why? I mean, sold off used to be land of the manor, but it's just amazed nothing else happened with it, because there's a lot of industry around here. There's airplanes everywhere because the airport is just there too, so I'm just like, why did they keep this so green and nice? But I'm glad they did. A little bit annoyed of not being here before, because I've spent absolutely hours and hours and days in that bloody hotel, and with the help of satellite Google Maps, you can obviously find some green space around you, but beyond that, you'd hope there was a sign or something at the hotel saying, oh, fancy somewhere to walk, go for a spliff maybe, just over the road, it's lovely. Want to plant a tree? Well, it's already done, but go and look at them. But absolutely nothing, so glad I've seen it. Who knows if it'll be here in a few years' time? I imagine so. So lovely. This is good. I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about, I know it's completely out there and like not really relevant to what I'm doing, but it's something I want to address, and that is the used car market at the moment. I think it's gone awry basically. I don't know if I've posted the video yet, but I've got rid of the Skoda. It was good while it lasted, but it wasn't big enough for the family. I have got a Peugeot 308 from 2015. It's a Euro 6. It's got all the bells and whistles and that. Decent price, but we'll come to that. Yeah, lovely estate. Diesel, fine for town, clean air, fine, rah, 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 rah. But I think the increasing problem I'm seeing with the used car market, and this has been addressed by channels such as Jeff Buys Cars, and maybe High Peak Autos has actually touched on this, but you got to watch where you're buying from when it comes to maybe Facebook Marketplace, but even Auto Trader. The only thing with Auto Trader is the person selling it has put the effort in to maybe pay like £7 to list their item. I think that's what you have to do. You can pay more for like premium positions within the listings or whatever. But there's just a lot of people pretending to be things to sell cars, and I understand why they'd have to do that sometimes. Of course, there's a stigma surrounding the cities beginning with B, and you shouldn't buy cars from them, like Bradford, Birmingham. Is Bromsgrove all right? I don't know. But yeah, so there's reason behind that, because there's a lot of nefarious activities, people just ripping people off, under the radar, tax dodging kind of shit. But at the same time, the big forecourts, which you'd see as legit, Asian Run, West Brom, Dudley, Leicester, all those places, of course they're legit businesses. They have to be, because they've got massive forecourts and taxes to pay. So it can't be like not all of them are trustworthy, but I guess the word's got around so much now that there's a split in the market. So now you've got people pretending to be people, so you'll go in for the sale. Then there's a big backstory maybe. Here's case in point. So I've bought, well, I viewed a car being sold by a profile called Lucy Brown. And unfortunately Lucy Brown was hot on the COVID rules by the looks of it, because her photo was I got my vaccine and all that stuff on Facebook. She's a bit cringe, but obviously I have a chat to her. She's like, it's all good, but you're going to meet my fella when you come to view the car. It won't be me. I'm like, okay, so obviously I already know what's going to happen. Maybe a Pakistani guy is going to come out and see me, which is fine. That's not a problem. And it's a shame they've been hounded into a corner where they have to pretend to be white people to sell you a car. Because let's analyse myself. Did I only click on the ad because it was a white woman? I don't think so. But maybe I'm bloody under the skin bloody bigot. I don't know, am I? I don't think so. I'm sure with everyone. But it gives the game away anyway in the description. If a woman called Lucy Brown is saying it's in tip-top condition with no knocks and no bangs, and yeah, full service history, and pulls like a horse and all those kind of things in every gear, then you know you're dealing with a salesman anyway. So there's that. The clues are all there. But oh, we've got a little pond here. I'll show you in a minute. So yeah, viewed that. It was nice. Tested the window on it. Window didn't work, just like the Skoda, so I'm like, nah, sack that, never mind. In the meantime, I've sold the Fabia. I need a fix fast because I need a car to get to town in. And I find this Peugeot 308. Go pick it up, nice and local. Drove fine, but like on the roads. Just took it on the motorway. DPF problem, all right. The trials and tribulations of buying a used diesel and why is it on the market kind of thing. So expected. It's getting cleaned out, it's getting fixed, so no worries. And hopefully that's the end of the problems and we'll be on road trips soon. And it's a nice little car, I've got to say. But obviously what's happening now, when you're buying a used car, people are buying them cheap. So there's no, yeah, it's always been the case, it's always been traders, but they masquerade as private sellers almost, and pretend to be, you know, on your level. And obviously what's actually happening is this is a under the radar business to a point, who are buying cars from auctions that are just filled with cars from WeBuyAnyCar.com, because people just want that quick sale now. There's no trust in the world, so they just get rid of it for cheap, get a finance car or something. And then, so there's these auctions, and there's YouTube channels about these auctions, and obviously you can pick them up with fees on top of that. But let's just say that Peugeot was picked up for about £2,000 from the auction. A quick flip and you can get rid of that for 3.5 without touching it. We're going to have to pause there. I think I found the hall of Elmdon, potentially. Would that be it? It's nice. Nice, I don't know what time it is. It's kind of, I'm trying to think what way that's facing. South-ish. Because it's getting on to the afternoon now. Coming up to 12 o'clock, so yeah. That must be a south-facing lovely garden there. I mean, when you can choose, you do it like that, don't you, when you've got all that land. Don't know where this goes, but I'll definitely be back. That must be their private road to somewhere. I think Jaguar Land Rover around here somewhere as well. There's a lot of, yeah, like I said, a lot of industry and stuff. But this is lovely. Lots and lots of nice doggies. A random one that was just on his own but had bells on, so I imagine he just lives here on the land, and because he was in a lake and just crawling around, looked like he was struggling, and then he just belted it out and just ran directly across the field towards something that I couldn't see. So, dog of the manor, maybe. This is nice. But anyway, Elmdon Park, back to the chat about used cars. Jesus. Got all these cars that are just up for auction. There's shitloads of them. There's literally loads and loads and loads by the week, every week. And all your standard ones will be there, because it's just basically cars that are just reaching about 100,000 miles, maybe a little bit more. Starting to get tired, timing chains, rah, rah, rah. So people just go, nope, it's getting a bit too expensive to keep this car running that's like 10 years old now. So they sack it off for cheap. It ends up in these auctions. People buy them for peanuts. Don't really touch anything. Maybe get a little bent MOT on there. Drop some oil in it, maybe. Spray some cleaner on the tyres and make them nice and black. Get it valeted for about 20 quid. And then bang it online. And then mugs like me turn up and go, oh, it's nice, isn't it? It's nice. But I'm actually prepared to put a bit of work in. When it's a good deal, it's too good to be true. Nothing's beyond repair on these kind of newer cars. If it's a new engine it needs, so be it. But at least there's no major rust problems on these newer motors like the old days and all the cars that I used to buy. Apart from Ford KAs, they were absolutely just rusty as shit the whole time. But yeah, it's all a bit changed now. I don't know where you find just like a actual buyer who just wants to sell their car and has the time to do so and takes their time with it. I'm one of those people. I will always sell privately. I don't just give them away unless it's got to be scrapped. Even then we'll try and strip it down. Surely you'd do that. But anyway, yeah, hard to find a used car from just an old man who just, he's looked after it his whole life. He's got a bit of issues, rah, 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 and just, you know, enjoy the process of that old market that used to exist, which doesn't anymore, because I think even the old man with his really well-serviced car that he's looked after for 20 years, he probably dies and then his kids just throw it on We Buy Any Car as well. Shame. But we will look at the car. It's nice. I do enjoy it. Peugeots, I know they've got bad rap, but let's be honest, it's mostly people just repeating stuff that Jeremy Clarkson said on Top Gear about 20 years ago. So we'll see if it's reliable. So far it's a DPF, and if you know about those, ruiners of diesel engines really, aren't they? Just pointless kind of emissions bollocks. So whatever, we'll clean it out and use it, because the tax is cheap, and that's good. Yeah, that's all I want to say. Bit more Elmdon Park, and I'll leave you to it. Have a good day. Potential interesting sign of information coming up. It's like a bit of a causeway situation here sometimes. This looks like a leak. No, there is a pond there, but yeah, this looks like a lot of water because it hasn't really rained much at all in the last few weeks. So anyway, oh, a culvert, is that what they call it, with those pipes running underneath here? Anyway, oh, it's a pond creation. It's next to the Jaguar Land Rover Logistics Operations Centre, and as part of the planning obligations associated with Jaguar Land Rover, Solihull Council was required to deliver an area of mitigation which was financed by JLR. A condition of the development was to create additional great crested newt habitat, specifically a pond, an associated hibernacular and log pile within the site. There's a log pile. They did it. That's all it takes. If you want to open a massive factory like that, dig a hole, fill it with water, bung some sticks in a pile, and you can do what you want. Amazing. And maybe there's loads of newts. Can we spot one? Shout up if you see any newts. Any newts, anyone? Maybe not today. Common frogs and that. Like that. There's a literal picture of the log pile, and it's still there. Brilliant. And the hibernaculum next to the pond. Don't know what that is. Don't know. But there you go. Mitigation complete. You can tell in the background just how small that mitigation is to have something as big as this built. Insane. But we can't, I mean, actually, with the new Jaguar and the rebrand, I don't really want to big it up so much as far as it's great to have British industry still going strong. And you know, Jaguar was super famous, world renowned, all that good stuff. James Bond really helped. But yeah, I think we're going to lose it in this next version of Jaguar with the EV stuff and the pink cars and the man boys. But oh, is that HDR that does that with the camera? It's quite annoying, isn't it? So yeah, this has been Elmdon Park and cars. I don't know if that was a pointless talk for you, and if you listened to it, thanks. So that's that. It's just a lovely little loop. I think the bridle way, of course, is straight through there. So I am going to come back on my lunch and go down there. But that's been nice. I'm going to take you over the bridge because it's interesting, isn't it? I bet you've never been over this bridge. Lovely sights and smells. What's this sign? Oh yeah, it's about the house. So yeah, as we leave the park, just imagine you leaving the big fancy manor. And there's like this little gatehouse as on your right hand side as we go, and we say, park the car for me, laddo, and make sure the grass is cut by the time I get back in 4 weeks. Cheers! And I think you've got a realistic expectation of what life used to be like in Elmdon. And back then, I imagine a Volkswagen Polo would have been well posh. Oh, it's not a T25, it's a proper. It's a T1 meet. Very good. Is that a T2? Split screen the one? Let me know in the comments. I don't know. It's cool though. Look at that. Porch lights are on. So yeah, I imagine the A45 wasn't quite as big as this when this was around. When was this thrown in? 50s? 60s? It's horrible. And unfortunately, if you're wheelchair bound, you ain't gonna get over here. And if you've got really short legs, you ain't getting over here. It's a lot of steps. So that took about 25 minutes to get around the park, just so you're aware, if you're ever in a rush and need to get a quick park in you. So that's perfect. Because lunches usually come in hours, don't they? I don't know who decided that. Imagine if hours were longer than they actually are. Lunch would just be that long. It's almost lucky that they're quite short, because we'd be really fat. But not going to get anyone to honk for me. I'm 32 now. But I did flag down a honking not too long ago. I think it was around Christmas, by a new build by my sister's house in Leamington Spa. So that was exciting, and I was in a onesie, which I think added to the appeal. Lovely bit of sunshine coming through just as I exit the park. Oh, nice birdie crossing the A45 there. So there you go, we got distribution yards and courier stuff all around there, car parks for the airport, the Holiday Inn, Birmingham Airport just there with the travel lodge also behind it. That's it round here, really. Do you like it? Right, I'm off. Brummie Wonders, thanks for joining me. That's been a bit of a weird one, I do get it, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Ta-ta, cheerio.